Hello and welcome back to my channel. This weird angle and lighting will make sense in a minute. Basically, I need you to see my desk because, as I've had requested now, because I mentioned it in one of my other videos, it's been requested a lot. I'm going to show you how to make one of these. This is what I have used for the last couple months when I was on placement to sort of help me do vaginal examinations. So you may be familiar with this. This is a freebie that the RCM tend to give out, and it's just a vaginal examination chart, and it has a lot of information in here, which is great. So this is a really useful tool because it has other information that goes with it. But if you want something more compact, which is what this is, that's what I'm going to show you to make, because this is really a great tool, but it's too big to fit in my scrub pocket, which is where I would like to keep it basically. And this is great to have in your bag as a little reminder, or like at your desk if you want to revise and things. But this can go, I slotted this into my little pocket notebook, and this can be around with you. So if you do V and maybe you're not sure, you can always check it, and it just gets you used to feeling as well. So yeah, these are really useful, but they're too big. So I'm going to show you how to make your own. So basically it is a piece of thin card paper, like it's not really card, it's like thicker paper, with ridges on. I don't know if you can see properly the ridges. It's quite difficult to tell, but they're cotton circles around it, and I put mine into a rainbow because I just thought it looked nice. I don't know what colours I'm going to use to decorate this one, which I'm using. I might do another rainbow, but I'm thinking maybe I'll try something else. But yeah, so it's very tactile, you can feel the ridges, but it's thin and compact, and that's really what I wanted to make. So I'm going to show you how to do it. So in front of me here, I've got everything that you're going to need. So firstly, some card paper. So this is just from like a photo album book thing I have, and it's literally just like card paper, like you can get anywhere. I wouldn't recommend using anything thinner. To be honest, I don't know what like type of paper this is, but just paper which is like, it's, yeah, card paper like you would have for a birthday card or something. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend anything thinner because it does get quite flimsy. As you can see, like it's bent a little bit, but I don't want it thicker either, if you know what I mean. So this is sort of the perfect in between. So yeah, I've got card, I've got the cotton thread. The colour doesn't matter. I just chose this one because I had it. A ruler, pencil, scissors, and then this is like an old makeup brush that I got with like some eyebrow powder. I don't use it, so I don't own paintbrushes either, so this is a great thing to use if you don't have paintbrushes or you have these lying around, because it's going to get ruined because you need PVA glue. I don't know if this is special PVA glue. Basically it's my mum's, and she does a lot of like crafty stuff for her work, so it might be decent PVA, it might be basic PVA, I don't know. But again, you could probably just do it with like PVA that you get from Tesco for like arts and crafts. But yeah, that is how you're going to stick down the cotton into the circles. So next up, there is a little bit of maths involved. You can do this many different ways. I've been experimenting with other ways. So I've already cut out this circular square that this is going to be the basis of. I did it just slightly bigger than 10 centimeters. So this is my 10 centimeter circle already drawn on here. I think this was like 14 centimeters by 14 centimeters cut out of this bit of card, just so you've got extra space to, as you can see, mine's got like an edge on it, but obviously just to make mistakes and things, and you know, you might get it messy, so you can colour around the edge when you're done. When I first made this one, I got all of the sizes from measuring random things which I had in my room and in my house that had different diameters. So when you're doing a VE, you're measuring the diameter of the cervix. When you're measuring out your string, you want to know the circumference. So there is a little bit of maths involved, so I'll get to that in the end. But firstly, I found things in my house which were different sizes. This time I'm going to try a different method. I have a few things which I know I can use to draw around, and I will use them for that purpose because it is easier doing it that way. But you might be able to see already, I've already done a few dots along this one at the different points. I haven't decided how I'm going to do it yet, but there's lots of different ways you can do it. You can do it by literally measuring your string. The best way to do it is if you own a compass, so like the type of compass that you had in school where it was like 2 things and you just did that. My life would be so much easier if I still had my compass from school. I thought I might still have it, but that's definitely long gone, unfortunately. But yeah, that would be a really great way to do it. Then you could just do the dots and then compass around the centre and it would be so easy. But I don't have that anymore, so I had to get creative. So yeah, I've been measuring a few things, and basically, yeah, that's the first step, is to just measure stuff and get your circles the right size. Sorry if you can hear stuff. I wanted to close my windows, but it's just really hot today, so if you can hear the cars, I'm really sorry about that. But yeah, so let's get drawing. Perfect. So this cup is 9 centimeters in diameter, so I'm going to draw around this for my 9 centimeter mark. This is just a random drinking cup which I have. Try and get it as central as possible, but it's not really essential because cervixes they don't just go by centimeters, you know, they're never perfect either, so you don't have to be 100%, and this is just a rough guide. So yeah, that's my 9 centimeter mark. I know you can't see it like 100% all the way, but the pencil markings don't actually matter because that's just going to guide you where to put your cotton thread. And we already worked out this is 8 centimeters, so I'm just going to go ahead and put this one in. So 7 centimeters is a tough one to find. I can't really find anything. So I'm going to try my next method, which is doing more dots. So I've just gone across the cross sections because I cut it in a square. I know sort of like where the centre is because I tried to put the 10 centimeter one in the centre, so I am going to use that to do more dots. And basically I just put a line in the centre and then go 1/2 centimetre either side of the middle dot each time, and that works out as a centimetre. So I'm just going to add some more in. So now I just have to do it that way, and I'm going to try and freehand it and see what happens. If it looks bad, I'll try a different method. I don't think that looks too bad. You probably can't see it, but yeah, I'm going to stick with that. It doesn't look too bad. And if I just measure around, yeah, it's about 1/2 centimetre all the way around, and that's what you're looking for. So yeah, I'm going to stick with that method. But I know I've got something for 6 centimetres. I'm pretty sure that this is 6 centimetres, if I remember correctly. Yes. So I'm going to draw around this one next. I don't think I have anything for 5 centimetres either, so I'm going to do the same thing again. But as I alternate, it just means that, you know, some are perfect, some are not, and it's fine. Okay, so as you can see, I've got my circles in. I freehanded a lot of them in the end, just because I couldn't find things to measure around. But as I said before, it doesn't matter 100%, because also you're going to be measuring your string. So that's just your base outline, and then what's going to happen now is going to measure out the string to the correct length and then put them around and then basically try and glue them down. So I'm also going to use a little bit of Pritt stick because I remembered last time I used this to help stick the first bit of string in place, and then we went over it with the PVA just to set it basically. So the maths which I did is here. So if you don't want to do the maths yourself, you can just copy these. So these are your lengths in centimetres and millimetres, so well in centimetres, for each of the diameters. So for 10 centimetres you're going to need 31.4 centimetres of thread, and then it sort of just goes down like that. So you can pause the video, screenshot this and save that if you don't want to measure it yourself, or you can work it out. Basically you have to work this out because you're measuring diameter when you're doing a VE, but in order to get the correct length of string you need the circumference, and the equation to do that is the circumference is equal to pi times the diameter. So you just times each of the diameters by pi, which is 3.14 something, whatever, and yeah, and then you get the correct measurement. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure out my string for 10 centimeters, which is obviously my ruler in a bit, because this is a 30 centimeter ruler. So yeah, this is the 30 centimeter piece of thread, if you can see that, or 31.4 centimeter piece of thread. And I just want to stick it around the circumference of that circle. I'm going to go a little bit outside of the line, because I know when I did it, it was measured a little bit under the actual, because obviously I used something to go around it. So I've got my Pritt stick and my brush. I'm going to use the one which I didn't use last time. It has a little, I think it's got a little bit of makeup on it, but it doesn't matter, because I'm going to paint over or colour over it anyway. That's actually kind of gross, but we move. So yeah, the first bit you just want to anchor that in place. I'm going to stick it down and let it maybe dry for a little bit and stick a little bit of PVA over the top to start with too. But yeah, I want to anchor down the first spot so we don't lose it basically. But yeah, the PVA basically helped to, because I can't really remember 100%, but when I initially did it, I think I just did lots and lots of Pritt stick over the whole thing, and then I went over the top of all of it with the PVA, because obviously that's like a plastic and it sort of sets everything in place and makes it durable and stops the string from like breaking off and getting damaged. So yeah, I'm just gonna, oh see, look, I've pulled it off because I was going to let it dry and putting it in the right place, but it's easy to take it off, so that's why you need to anchor the first bit down and be really delicate. I remember when I did it, it took me a really long time. I listened to probably about 4 podcast episodes, which are about, so basically it probably took me about 2 hours to do. But it's a nice little activity if you've got the time to do it. I am a very impatient person, so I do want to just crack on with it basically. So if you're like me, you can do that. And I'm just gonna get my Pritt stick and follow along the line and just paint along a line which I made, and then just place it down, because the string will attach. It won't be fully set, but it will attach. So basically this brush definitely wasn't clean and it's got like makeup on it, so I have already stained it, but I don't mind too much because I know I'm going to colour over this. So if you're a gross person like me who doesn't clean their brushes, don't worry, because you can just colour over it. So yeah, I'm going to go around all the circumference with Pritt stick and just get the string sort of in place. It won't be stuck like hard enough, but I'm going to get it in place so that when it's all the way around, we can just go over it with the PVA and set it. Okay, so I've gone around the whole 10 centimeter circle. Me having a dirty makeup brush has probably helped you visualize this, but I am gonna go and clean it now because it's kind of gross. But it's okay, because you can see that I've gone all the way around the circle. You see I've got a little bit of extra here. It's because I just cut it a little bit extra just in case. So yeah, I'm just gonna cut that off there and then glue the tail end down. And yeah, it didn't take me too long. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let that dry a little bit, and then I'm going to move on to the inner circles. And basically, as you go, it takes less time as you go because it's a smaller circle each time. So although the first one might feel like it's taking forever, once you get that done, it's not too bad. So yeah, I'm going to just do that for all of them, and then I'll get back to you when it's finished. I've done all of the little ridges now, if you can see those. The middle one is so hard. That one took me so long. My back is hurting. But basically what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go take a break, eat some food and let this dry. And then once it's dry, I'm going to colour it and let that dry for a little bit as well. And then I'm going to PVA it. So I'll be back when this is dry. And obviously that'll just be a second for you. Okay, so we're back. And the lighting is a little bit better now. I'm hoping this has had enough time to dry. The outside edge with the makeup on is really irritating me. So I did a couple tests. I couldn't remember last time whether or not I did the glue first or whether or not I coloured it in first, but part of me is thinking that I did the glue after last time and it made the colours run. And so I did a little patch test and I can colour over the glue. So what I'm going to do now is glue all of this before I do any colouring on it. Yeah, so what I'm doing is I've got that PVA from before just in here on the brush, which I also used before, and I'm just going to brush over the whole thing with a layer of PVA just to seal it, basically. The PVA is like dried out a little bit, which is kind of annoying, but I'll just rub it over. So yeah, I'm just going to cover the whole thing, like literally the circles, the thread, the whole lot in PVA, and just to seal it all in. So no matter how hard sort of the Pritt Stick, it's obviously Pritt Stick isn't like a long wearing glue. This just covers it in that film of PVA, which will hopefully make sure it stays secure for a long time. Mine is still going strong after a good few months of wear, and I can see as I paint over this, some of the threads are like moving out of place, which obviously means that it wasn't like fully stuck. So it's a good thing that I'm doing this just to seal it, and then you can just do any adjustments to the shape that maybe you need to do before it all dries down, because once it's dried down we won't be able to budge. So yeah, I'm just going to cover the whole of this in just a light thin layer of PVA. So it's now fully covered with the PVA. It looks kind of lumpy and bumpy, and it does change like the shape of the card, because you know it's almost getting it wet, so it does like sort of lose its integrity. And that's why I did say you need like a good card, so like paper wouldn't have done, it would have gotten too wet with the glue. So I'm just smoothing out some of the PVA so it's not too lumpy, and then I'm going to let that dry again, and then I'll come back and colour it. And as you can see, got these pens out. I'm going to go for a purple and pink theme, like a little gradient effect, I think. So yeah, hopefully that will look cute, and I'll come back when the PVA is all dry and we can colour it. That might be today, it might be tomorrow. I'm going to see how long it takes to dry. I can't really remember how long the first one took, but I might leave it overnight just because I did put a lot of PVA on it to seal it. And then obviously if we leave it overnight, it's less likely to have any damages. I think I might leave it over this pot here, because you see how the edges of mine like curled up. I'm going to leave it on top of here to try and avoid that happening as it dries, but we'll see. It's never going to be perfect, but it's one of those things you can just put in a book and then it will sort itself out. So yeah, I'm going to let that dry and I'll come back when it's time to colour it. Okay, so the glue on this is like completely dry now, so I'm going to get to colouring in. My breath just ran up my stairs. So I've got the colours that I want to use here. I'm going to do like a little gradient effect to the blue, to the pink, and then to the blue again. And then yeah, then it will be done. Okay, so there it is. This is it, kind of finished. What I think I'm going to do is let this dry down, because as you can see it's a little bit patchy. My one is also a little bit patchy, but I think that's just where like the glue sort of affects it. But I'm going to see if I can do another layer of it, and I'll come back and show you the finished product when it's all completely done, and we can have a chat about this thing. Hey, so it's been over a week since I finished this, but I just realised I forgot to film the outro and show the finished product. So this is it. I did another layer of colour to finish it off, and this is it. this is the finished product. Obviously I don't need two for myself, so I'm going to give this one to Amy as a gift. So yeah, this is it. Like, comment, subscribe, all of that good stuff if you enjoyed the video. If you end up making this, please show me, tag me in it, but also I understand if you don't, because it did take me a long time, but it's super cute and worth it if you do want to commit to making it. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. Follow me on Instagram for more, all of that stuff. Goodbye.